Hi, this is Meg Nickerson here. I'm the artistic director for the Belfast Maskers, and we wanted to do something online, talking with people who have been involved in maskers shows in the past and are now, they've studied theater, they're working in the arts, and we want to see where they are now. So my first interview is with Tess Van Horn, who I've known since I figured this out like the late 1980s. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 So it's very cool to see you again and to have a chance to find out what you've been doing in the meantime. So why don't you start by talking about what your involvement was with the Belfast Maskers? You started very young.
Yes, I did. I think the first play I was in was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I think was in the church that the Maskers have now moved back into.
Actually, it was Crosby.
Oh, was that at Crosby? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, that was the first production. I think I was like a little, wood fairy or something. And oh gosh, I still totally remember it. It was magical and fun. And I remember we had a production, or we had a performance on Halloween, and I remember like trick-or-treating in my costume and then going to the theater to do the play, and it just felt very exciting. So I don't know, I must have been, maybe 6 or 7. Yeah, pretty young. So that's my first memory. But I was involved for a long time, all throughout my childhood. Yeah.
And your parents were involved, and that was really nice too. We had a lot of families that were part of the maskers back then. So do you have a favorite masker memory for us?
Oh gosh, not just one. I mean, each production I was in still really stays strong in my memory. I remember being in a production of Pinocchio, in which I played another puppet, and that was so fun. I remember later on a production of The Boyfriend, which I think I was like 14 or 15 or something like that. I don't, they're just all, it really felt like I was part of a community. It felt like it was something I could rely on. It was a world separate from my school life, which was nice. I could escape to that, and I had a different set of friends, and a different, not just friends my age, but older too. It really felt like there was such a collaboration and a camaraderie between all of the actors, whatever play we were in together. We were all looking out for each other. And so, it felt like a second home.
So how did your involvement with the maskers affect your future present? Did it have any influence?
Oh yes, huge influence. I think I got bit with the acting bug early on, and I don't know when it was that I decided, but pretty early on, I was determined to be an actor, determined to make that my life. I just wanted to stay. I just loved the drama and the escape and the illusion of theater. I loved everything about it. I still do. I loved the whole rehearsal process, the waiting backstage before going on stage, the friendships, the dramas, all of the stuff, all of the stuff that comes with being in a play. And I think also just the intensity of it and the challenges of it, and continuing as I got older to see the ways in which I was getting better too, and getting support and encouragement from the maskers community, from my parents, from my family. So yeah, it definitely absolutely helped to shape.
Okay, so kind of lead us down the path after high school. You attended Sarah Lawrence?
Yeah. So I attended Sarah Lawrence. I studied theater there. I was part of the theater department there, And I also was able to spend a year in England during a study abroad program. So I got to study theater there as well in Bristol. So yeah, it obviously really helped to shape my perspective on the kind of theater I wanted to do. And then I spent a little time in New York after college, really not that long at all though, like a summer. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't like most college grads. I was figuring it out. And I figured out pretty soon after college that I wasn't that interested in following sort of the track that a lot of actors do, which is move to New York, try to find an agent, go to a million auditions, be continually disappointed, be continually putting themselves out there. It just, at least for where I was at that age, it just was way too much for me. So I moved to Portland soon after, and I've been in Portland ever since. And it was at that point, I wasn't really thinking long-term at all. I just was like, I gotta get out of New York. This is not the place for me. But I soon discovered a pretty great community in Portland, and was working nonprofit, doing like nonprofit theater stuff. And then I started a company with friends that we were a company for about 5 years.
What was the name of the company?
Yeah, we were called Lorem Ipsum. Totally weird name.
Okay.
but yeah, but definitely like exactly the kind of theater I was interested in doing. We were a professional company, but we were really focused on new original work or unknown works. Our first production was Ubu Roy, this very like silly French radical political piece of theater that we made, that basically we were just clowns, and commenting on capitalism and the whole thing. And we really worked to be a collective as best we could, tried to make it as democratic as possible, break away from sort of like the hierarchical traditional structures of theater companies, tried to make all of our decisions together, took turns directing, acting, producing. So I really, really built pretty great skills around like how to produce a play, how to produce and direct at the same time, how to act while also produce, and it was really fun. It was really fun. And it's one of those, now that ended, I guess, yeah, about 5 years ago. Oh gosh, can't believe it's already been that long, but time, but it was a great thing to do in my 20s.
So where did that take you? What happened after that?
Yeah, so throughout that, I was working with other companies as well, acting locally, doing like local commercials, local voiceover ads. I think for a lot of people, wherever you're living, but Portland is a great example of a place where if you want to continue to be involved as an actor or director, you really need to like put yourself out there and kind of like do the gig life, like take whatever jobs might come your way, say yes to things that maybe you wouldn't think you'd be good at doing or talented enough or whatever, keep yourself open to possibilities, because you never know how things might fall in your lap. And then
my last question.
Oh, I know, right? Exactly. I know.
Awesome, though. That's wonderful. So I read something about you were involved with Stages Youth Theater?
Yeah, yes.
What's that about?
Yes, so so as like I was saying, like, you open yourself up to possibilities, and the theater community in Portland is pretty small. And so I was able to work with people, specifically to Stacy Klosky and Holly Seddon, who started Stages Youth Theater back in right around when the recession hit. Actually, they started a children's theater, but they're still around. They're incredible. I'm plugging them. Stages Youth Theater. Look them up. And I collaborated with them on theater productions, and then it all sort of worked out where I could then start teaching for them and directing children's theater,
Great.
which I had also been doing in college. So that felt like a really nice marriage of sorts. And for me to discover too, that I've always loved teaching, and it feels like a great opportunity to pay it forward, you know, to kind of continue the memories of me being a kid doing children's theater at Maskers, and now here I am on the other side of it. It just, it's felt like such an easy and exciting transition. So I've been working with them on and off for over 5 years now, directing children's theater, working in the office, helping organize events, do workshops, school opportunities, all of that stuff.
Right.
And I was going to work for them this summer, but you know, now things are shifting but through them, I've been working with Portland Stage also has a children's theater, very active children's theater who are also fabulous theater for kids at Portland Stage. I work with them as well. And throughout all of this, I've been directing with different theaters in Portland, theater at Monmouth, with my own company. I was directing a production at USM. That's also been postponed. So yeah, so I think like everyone right now, you know, it's a moment where we all are like feeling so lucky, and the opportunities that we were having, how great, right? You know, I was so excited for this USM production. I was directing Crimes of the Heart, which I believe, were you in that?
No, I wasn't.
Did you direct that? No.
I wasn't in that. It's funny that you mentioned that though, because, you know, we've started once in a while repeating a production that was done many, many, many years ago, Masters, and that's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's a great play, right? I remember when it was done. I think my mom was in it. I know my mom was in it.
Your mom was in it, yeah.
She was in it, yeah.
So are you teaching at all at Southern Maine Community
Yes.
College? And tell us what.
Yep. So around a little soon after I started working at Stages, then an opportunity presented itself for me to teach theater at SMCC. So I've been there for 5 years, since 2015, and that now definitely feels like the right place for me. It's a great community. The students that I have worked with over the years are tremendous. I have learned so much from them. I know it's such a cliche thing to say as a teacher, but I really have. The stories, the lives that these students lead are so diverse and interesting, and it's so fun to teach theater for most people who have done a little bit, you know, maybe a little bit in high school, or have never done it before, but it seems fun. And to work with people with that mindset, the opportunities are endless, because there's so little ego involved, you know. It's just the sort of like, let's play some improv games and see what happens. And by the end of the semester, they're like performing monologues that they've memorized. It's always theater is an incredible opportunity to boost yourself up, to build confidence and self-esteem, regardless of what age you are. And so that's been my main gig, as they'd say.
It's so rewarding for me to see someone like you who started out as a child actor now paying it forward, really, and doing something that you love. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
Anything else I want to say? I would say, you know, I think that last question you presented was around like advice to give to folks who want to pursue theater, right? I've been thinking about that a lot. And I will say that I think the world has changed so much since I was a kid, and even in college, and I'm not that old, but still, like, stuff has really changed. And I know that we are currently living amidst COVID and everything is so unpredictable. But I would say that, like, I think theater can exist within technology. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'd say keep yourself open and allow yourself to continue to think outside the box in terms of what it means to be an actor, what it means to produce theater, direct theater. Keep yourself open to technology, and also always be open to collaboration. Even if you think that you're just, oh, well, I'm just an actor and I need a director and I need a theater to do it. Necessarily true. Allow yourself to believe that you are capable to create, to write, to collaborate with other people, to ask questions, to get weird. Because that's, for me, has always been the thing that has helped me to move forward, to help me stay creative, is collaborating with people that I really trust and enjoy company and push me. So
it's really a proactive response. Don't sit back and wait.
Exactly. That really isn't, it's just unfortunately not really how it works. And I think that's the case for so many professions. And it's hard when we're new and feeling insecure and, like, I don't know if I'm any good. Well, then try it out with someone else who might feel like they're not very good too, and see what happens there. Find a buddy.
Great advice, Tess. Great advice. Listen, I've really enjoyed seeing you, and thank you so much for being part of our Where Are They Now? I wish you the best. And
thank you so much, Meg. Thank you. Good luck to the maskers and to everything that you're doing. Sending you love and joy and hope.
Thank you, Tess.